Algebra lesson 102 is on solving quadratic equations using square roots. So we're going to be doing 4 examples looking at solving when you have a quadratic in the form of x squared equals a, and then when you have a quadratic in the form of ax squared plus c equals 0. You can use square roots to find the roots of them. So example 1a is x squared equals 25. So what we do is we take the square root of x squared, which is going to be x, and then what we're going to have when we take the square root of 25 is we're going to have a plus or minus. So it's going to be plus or minus 5. So x is going to equal plus or minus 5, because we're going to take the square root of, let me take it off of there and put it down here on this one, square root. Because when we're talking square root, you could have 5 squared, which is 25. You could also have negative 5 squared, which is also 25. So we're going to write this symbol, which is a little plus with a minus underneath it. So it's x equals plus or minus 5. So those are our roots. But let's do a check. And then you just simply put in, let's put in positive 5. So yes, 5 squared is 25. So 25 equals 25. That checks out. And then let's put in negative 5 squared. That equals 25. So 25 equals 25. So both of those check out. So we have a plus or minus for the 2 roots there. Okay, simply solved. Let's do 1b, which is over here. So x squared equals negative 16. So what we want to do is take the square root of x squared and the plus or minus square root of 16. Oops, it's going to be negative 16. Now, here's the thing. Can you have a square root of a negative number? Because over here I said, well, if you have a negative times a negative, that's a positive. And you can take the square root of that. But if you have a negative inside the square root symbol, you can never get a negative there. So it's going to be x equals plus or minus negative 16. Now that's not true. So what we do is go put it's not equal sign through it. And so the solution really is that there is no real number solution. So that's the answer for that one. Okay, the next one, solving a x squared plus c equals 0. So let's go ahead and subtract 3 from both sides. So we get x squared equals 49. We're going to take the square root of x squared, square root of 49, and it's a perfect square. So we're going to get x equals plus or minus 7. So let's go ahead and run a check. 7 squared plus 3 equals 52. So 49 plus 3 equals 52. So 52 equals 52. Kind of have sloppy handwriting today. Okay, negative 7 squared. Let's see, plus 3 equals 52. See if that checks out. So negative 7 times negative 7 is a positive 49. Plus 3 equals 52. So 52 does equal 52. So that one checks out. Okay, last example. Example 3b is 8x squared minus 24 equals 100. So let's go to solve this first. We're going to have to add 24 to both sides. So we get 8x squared equals 124. So I used APO to solve that. And then we're going to divide by 8. So we're going to get x squared equals 15.5. So I used DPO. I'm not actually showing this step. I'm just showing what I did here. So then the square root of x squared should equal the plus or minus square root of 15.5. Okay, this is going to be a decimal equivalent, and so what we're going to get is x equals plus or minus 3.9370039. Obviously this isn't a calculator. I think that's it. Okay, so then x is approximately plus or minus 3.937. Okay, so there's 4 examples to get started with for the practice in your lesson on how to solve quadratic equations. Quadratic equation, again, is just a review that it has a x squared term in it. And this time we're using a square root in order to find the roots or solutions to the quadratic equation. You'll remember from graphing, when we find roots, it's where the parabola crosses the x-axis. So there might be no solution, there might be one solution, or there might be 2 solutions. Using the square roots, you'll see it's kind of working out where they are perfect squares. And so it makes it really easy to solve, to find the roots of the quadratic. All right, so that's it for this lesson, Algebra 102.